Are you ready to switch on your language learning? Well, I'll be telling you more about that today. Before we start looking forward, let's take a quick look back over the past year. We've published hundreds of new lessons over our 7 coffee break languages. Since this time last year, we've seen over 76 million downloads or streams of our podcasts. And if a typical coffee break episode lasts around 20 minutes, that means that every 20 minutes of every hour and every day, around 2,900 language learners are learning a language with us at any given moment. That is kind of crazy. Here on YouTube, our channel continues to grow, and earlier this year, we received our silver play button for reaching 100,000 subscribers. You're all very welcome. And on the Coffee Break Academy, the platform where we host all our online courses, over 300,000 lessons have been completed, and we've welcomed over 22,000 new students to the Academy. We hope that you're continuing to enjoy our videos, our courses, and our podcasts, and thank you for choosing to learn with us. At the start of the year, we announced a very exciting partnership with John Murray Learning and the Teach Yourself series, and our first books launched in June. The 50 Coffee Break series have been hugely popular and continue to be top sellers in the language categories on Amazon. We'll be adding to our range of books in 2023, so watch this space. Our aim here at Coffee Break Languages is to help you maximise the time you have available and learn whenever you have a moment free, be that while you're at the gym, on the train, walking the dog, or on your coffee break. And one of the key ways in which we aim to do this is by providing regular language learning content on social media, meaning you can take an espresso coffee break with us anywhere, anytime. And this year has been no exception. We've posted hundreds of free mini lessons on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we've also introduced our TikTok account, where we're posting language challenges several times a week. Thank you to all our followers on all our platforms. We hope you're continuing to love our content. A highlight for me over the past year has been the fact that we've been able to get back to the office. At the end of last year, we moved into new premises, and we've extended these this year, building new video and audio studios where we've been very busy creating new content for you. It's great having a place where the whole team can come together to record and film, for meetings, for planning, and for having fun. And yes, we even get to enjoy Francesca's tiramisu from time to time. Okay, enough about the past year. Let's talk about our content, and we'll begin with English. We've recently launched our 4th season of Coffee Break English, and we're seeing huge growth among English learners from around the world. Coffee Break English provides cultural texts, and we have correspondents in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, the Caribbean, Ireland, and various parts of the UK who share information about interesting traditions, people, and places. We have more exciting plans for Coffee Break English in 2023. So if you're an English learner, stay tuned. Over the past year, we've been publishing Coffee Break German Season 3. This is an advanced course, and it's been ausgezeichnet to get into some really challenging topics in the lessons. We've just published Lesson 26 today, and lessons will continue to be published over the next 6 months, with a short break around the holidays. If you're enjoying Coffee Break German Season 3, let us know in the comments. One of the highlights of the Season 3 course will be lessons 31 to 40, where we've put together a sort of short story. You'll be following the adventures of 2 young people, Lucie and Marianne, who have applied to study in California, as their mother, who's American, also studied there. Over the 10 lessons of this final section of the series, we'll follow the ups and downs of their lives, and it's all written in challenging B2 level German. In each episode, we'll listen to the reading of the chapter of the story, and then go through the language in detail. I'm really looking forward to this part of the course. My role in Coffee Break German is as the learner, so it will be great to put my own understanding of German to the test. I'll be sharing some more German news a bit later, so stay tuned. For Italian learners, we also moved on to Season 3 last year, and these lessons have been delighting Italian learners everywhere. I'm joined for the course by Francesca, and together we've been presenting lessons on complex grammar, which is all explained in a simple coffee break style, enhanced by some really fantastic dialogues. We've recently been tackling the infamous subjunctive, and I'm sure that our learners now feel much more confident with this and the other tricky topics we've covered in the course. Again, if you're part of our Coffee Break Italian Season 3 community, let us know in the comments. We've also just published Lesson 26 today, where we're looking at conditional sentences, and our lessons will continue through into 2023, again with a short break over the holiday season. As with German, we're going to be reading a story together in lessons 31 to 40 of Coffee Break Italian Season 3. I won't say too much about this just now, but I can tell you that it's called La Grotta del Tesoro, the treasure cave, and that it's set at the most magical time of year, the middle of August, complete with stelle cadenti, shooting stars. Sono sicuro che vi piacerà un sacco. I'm sure that you will love it. Now, there's more Italian news a bit later today, but for now let's turn our attention to Svenska, Swedish. Our first season of Coffee Break Swedish finished earlier this year, and today I'm delighted to announce that we have new Swedish content for you. Hanna and I have already started recording a series of the Coffee Break Swedish travel diaries, where we'll follow Mattias, his wife Sara, and their two teenage children, Alva and Arvid, on a trip down the west coast of Sweden. They'll be visiting some fascinating locations, including Klädesholmen, Marstrand, Tylösand, and Gothenburg. And this will give Swedish learners a great chance to build their language skills while getting to know a bit more about the culture and geography of the country. Our travel diary series in French, German, Italian, and Spanish have been some of our most popular series yet. So we're delighted to be able to take this virtual journey with you in Coffee Break Swedish. The Coffee Break Swedish Travel Diaries will launch in early 2023. If you'd like to be notified when the course launches, go to coffeebreaklanguages.com/Swedish travel. And don't worry, we'll post all the links to our new content at the end of the event. Okay, it's time now to talk about Coffee Break Chinese. Many thousands of learners have gone through our beginner's Chinese course, Coffee Break Chinese Season 1. And we've asked our community of learners what your greatest challenges are when it comes to learning Mandarin. Top on the list was Chinese characters. So we've been applying the Coffee Break method of turning complex things into friendly, understandable lessons, and we're working on a special course which introduces Chinese characters. This video course will launch in 2023, and it will be a great stepping stone to more advanced Chinese courses. To be kept up to date with our progress, visit coffeebreaklanguages.com/Chinese characters. Ok, parlons un peu du français maintenant. Let's talk a bit about French. Over the years, we've released many courses in French for beginners, intermediate learners, and our advanced course, La Vérité éclate toujours, came to its exciting end earlier this year. But since La Vérité éclate toujours was already very advanced in terms of the language, vocabulary, and grammar used in the course, where do we go next? Well, we've come up with a new show, which is at a similar level to La Vérité éclate toujours, but it's totally different in format. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, or as we say in French, il était une fois, there were two French teachers. They decided to challenge each other to come up with a story, in French of course, within the space of a few minutes. To make things a little bit more complicated, this story had to include certain words. In fact, 3 nouns, 3 verbs, 3 adjectives, and an idiomatic expression thrown in for good measure. So they filmed the entire process, and they all lived happily ever after. I'll hand you over to the two protagonists of my story now.
Bonjour et bienvenue dans un nouvel épisode de Il était une fois. Moi, c'est Max et comme toujours, je suis en compagnie de
Pierre Benoît.
Pierre Benoît, le seul, l'unique. Aujourd'hui, Pierre Benoît va nous raconter une histoire. Pas n'importe quelle histoire, une histoire basée sur 10 mots que j'ai choisis pour lui. C'est très protocolaire, je te remets les 10 petites cartes.
Le 3e mot. Tu m'as choisi des super mots, toi. Une girouette.
Une girouette, c'est un petit objet muni d'une flèche qui est posé au sommet d'un bâtiment et qui indique dans quelle direction le vent souffle. T'as déjà une petite idée directrice?
J'ai une petite idée directrice, peut-être que tu m'aideras à la finir.
On verra, je pense que t'es assez fort pour improviser des fins d'histoire. T'as jamais vraiment besoin de moi. Il était une fois,
Au temps des pharaons,
un docteur qui s'appelait Yves.
un marin qui s'appelait Marcel.
Marie était vendeuse
Ouais.
dans un petit magasin de perruques.
Oh, de perruque. Elle a orné toute sa tête.
Ornée,
sa
je
tête.
rappelle, embellir avec un élément décoratif.
Voilà.
Et donc, elle a décidé d'infiltrer un réseau de braconniers. pour le faire tomber de l'intérieur.
Ah, d'accord. Ce sera l'histoire du petit lapin et du gros taureau.
L'histoire du petit lapin et du gros taureau. Ça peut être un succès commercial incroyable.
Eh ben c'est super, un petit peu de vélo, un petit peu de perruque, un petit peu de
Ouais.
froid de canard et tu nous as fait une
Un casse-pied
super...
aussi. Je crois que c'est une fin parfaite.
Très très bien, donc on vous dit à très bientôt. Et puis, bah, au revoir.
Ouais, bravo Pierre Benoît.
Bravo,
et à
merci
bientôt.
Max. Salut.
So, Il était une fois is the new advanced course from Coffee Break French. As you've seen, in each episode, Pierre Benoit challenges Max, or Max challenges Pierre Benoit, to write a story in French. While the writer writes the story, the challenger explains the words he's chosen, and then we listen to the complete story. It's a lot of fun, and I know that my French has improved watching these episodes. Now, you may have noticed that this show is entirely in French, from the bonjour at the beginning to the au revoir at the end. This can be a real challenge for learners, so that's why we put together some materials which will help you understand everything. The online course features the video version of each episode with Pierre Benoit and Max in the studio. We've provided subtitles in French to help you follow the show, and there's a full transcript. There's also a développement linguistique section in the notes where we pick out some really interesting words and phrases used in the episode. Il était une fois launches today, and episode 1 is already available. Go to coffeebreaklanguages.com/storytime for more information. We think you're going to love Il était une fois. And if you want to buy the course immediately, there's an introductory offer of 20% off. Use coupon code DECEMBER at checkout. You've already heard me talk about stories in our Coffee Break German and Italian Season 3 courses, and our Swedish travel diaries will also be based around the idea of a story. With both La Vérité éclate toujours and Il était une fois, stories are at the heart of the learning. In fact, we believe that stories are one of the best ways to learn a language, because if you're engaged in a story, your motivation is high and you're trying to follow everything so that you basically understand what's happening and you're following the story to see what happens. You get exposed to language as it's really used, and it prepares you for reading books and other content in the language, which in turn will help you build your skills even further. Every one of our stories across all our shows and languages is unique. We've not just translated the same story into different languages because we know that many of you are learning multiple languages with us. We could adapt La Vérité éclate toujours and make it available in Spanish, for example, but that's not our style. We'd rather come up with something completely original for you to enjoy and through which you'll make fantastic progress in your learning. Talking of which, it's time to tell you about Coffee Break Spanish Season 5. We've been working on this for over a year now, and I think my colleague Anabel is the best person to tell you more about this.
Hola y muy buenas a todos, yo soy Anabel y soy parte del equipo de Coffee Break Spanish, and I am so pleased to have here finally the season 5. And we have designed this new season around a story that is kind of a novel that you can find at the bookshop. It has 20 chapters and we have combined narrative chapters with all the chapters that feature dialogue. That means that you get the opportunity to listen to different accents from the Spanish-speaking world and also to hear some lovely oral and colloquial expressions. Así que es una novela y eso quiere decir que necesita un título. The title is La penúltima voluntad, the second last will, and it tells the story of Marta de los Llanos, who one morning receives a phone call from a lawyer telling her to go to her parents' house for the reading of her father's will. Marta is shocked because she didn't know her father had died. Soon we discovered that her relationship with her father was not on good terms. However, that inheritance may change her life and may be the start of something. In this story, we join Marta in her journey to understand a little bit more about her father and also herself. Along with the story, in the premium course, we have designed a language study where we look into more detail to grammar points and advanced vocabulary for this course for advanced learners, and just like explain different expressions. We have also created, and that is my favorite part, a taller lingüístico, which is a linguistics workshop. In this workshop, in this taller, we explain 3 different phrases or words picked up from the text, and we provide further examples to help you use these expressions in your daily conversations. As you can see, this is a big project and it took us some time to put together a story and the language resources that can help you improve your Spanish at this level of advanced Spanish and master your Spanish. So, muchísimas gracias, thank you very much, and I hope you join us to find out more about Marta and her adventure in La Penúltima Voluntad.
Gracias, Anabel. La Penúltima Voluntad starts today. Episode 1 is available on the podcast feed and, as Anabel explained, we have a full online course which will help you understand every word of each chapter as they're published. While the podcast covers the text of the chapter and we have a summary in English of what's happened, in the online course you have access to the language study episodes where Anabel and I go through every word and talk about the language used. You'll have access to annotated texts, a video version of the chapter, vocabulary lists, and then in the weeks in between the main lessons, you'll be able to enjoy the taller lingüístico, helping you master some of the expressions and then use them in your own speaking. For all the information you need, head to coffeebreaklanguages.com/LPV. That's LPV for La Penúltima Voluntad. Again, if you'd like to purchase the course straight away, use the coupon code DECEMBER for 20% off. So far, we've announced new English, Swedish and Chinese content coming next year, a brand new French video and audio show starting today, and also starting today, La Penúltima Voluntad, our new advanced course for Spanish learners. But there's more to come. We receive thousands of emails and messages on social media every month, and we read every single one. Sometimes you tell us about your progress in learning. We love to hear that you've completed one of our courses or that you've passed your DELE exam. We also love to hear your stories of how you've been using the language that you're learning, both when things go right and when things go wrong. We try to reply to every single message we receive, and we'd like to thank you for getting in touch with us to tell us how you're getting on. You appear to love the coffee break method and the audio and video lessons with our expert teachers. We help you learn to read and understand the spoken language, and through various courses like our French and Spanish masterclass, which is currently underway for 2 different cohorts, you learn to improve your writing skills. But there's one area which is perhaps more difficult to help you with, and that's speaking. Given that the coffee break community is in almost every country in the world, in every time zone, and that there are so many of you, it's not exactly easy to provide speaking classes at the scale we'd like to. So that's why we're going to start small. Starting early next year, we're going to be running our coffee break communication courses. These will take the form of 12 sessions run over 6 weeks, with classes twice per week with one of our coffee break tutors. Each coffee break communication course will focus on a specific area of the language. For example, if you're going to be travelling to a country where the language is spoken, you may be interested in our coffee break communication course on getting the most out of your trip. Or if you're looking to improve a particular area of grammar, then at some point we could run a coffee break communications course on talking confidently about the past. We'll have materials to help you prepare for the class, and you'll be in a small group of learners working together with a member of the coffee break team. The dates, languages and levels of these classes have yet to be confirmed, but we'll aim to run the classes at different times of the day to ensure that they're open to as many learners as possible. We do imagine that they'll be very popular, so make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter to find out when they go live. On that note, if you don't already get My Monday emails or our language-specific newsletters, then make sure you subscribe at coffeebreaklanguages.com/newsletter. It's the best way to keep in touch with all our developments, and you get weekly tips and advice on language learning from yours truly. Now, let's turn to the Coffee Break Club. The Coffee Break Club ran from April until September, and over the 6 months of the club, learners of French, German, Italian and Spanish took part in regular activities involving reading, listening and writing. This first iteration of the club was a bit of an experiment. We wanted to see if this kind of regular content to help you keep on top of your language learning was useful. The feedback was great and we really appreciated all your input. We asked club members to let us know which type of lessons they preferred, and there was a clear winner. You absolutely loved our video lessons. And this got us thinking. What if there were a platform where you could access short video lessons in the language you're learning? Yeah, okay, so you can scroll through interminable lists of videos on YouTube and maybe find one or two that are useful after a good 20 minutes of scrolling, and probably at least another 10 minutes when you end up watching a video about dogs doing silly things or making the perfect omelette. But what if every video on the platform was created by expert teachers in the style you were used to? Kind of like a Netflix for language learning. And what if today I want to do, 10 minutes of listening with Pierre Benoit, but tomorrow I may want to build my vocabulary skills or test my grammar? Wouldn't it be amazing if there was a collection of videos I could work through to help me do a little language learning every day? Well, that's exactly what we've been building over the past 6 months, and we are so excited to introduce it to you today. We're calling it Coffee Break TV.
Hola a todos.
Halli, hallo.
Salut tout le monde.
Ciao!
Moi, c'est Max.
Soy Annabelle.
I'm Francesca.
My name is Olivera, and today we'll be doing some translations together.
I'm Mark, and today we're doing some reading with Francesca.
Today we have another video de vocabulario.
And today we have another postcard to read together.
Today's topic is how to say my, your, his, and her in French.
In this video, I have a grammar point for you, and it's the near future.
Our text today is about a Kartoffelquarantäne, so a potato quarantine.
The Coffee Break Club is based around 3 simple questions. What do you want to learn today? Perhaps you want to review your French grammar or learn about German culture. Then, which kind of activity would you like? A reading text, some listening practice, or a factual video? And the final question is, how long is your coffee break? Whether you want a quick 5-minute cultural text or a longer review of grammar, there's something for you in our library of learning content on the Coffee Break Club. And we are adding new videos all the time. Join the Coffee Break Club on Coffee Break TV. Visit coffeebreaktv.com today. So, what do you want to learn? Which style of activity would you like? And how long is your coffee break? This is Coffee Break Club 2.0, if you like, a new version of the club which focuses on providing you with a library of video lessons you can work through at your leisure. There's something for everyone, and we're going to be adding content all the time. You can access Coffee Break TV on our web platform. Note that this is a different platform, it's separate from the Coffee Break Academy, so you will need to create a new account if you'd like to join the club on Coffee Break TV. And there's even better news. You'll also be able to access Coffee Break TV content on our new Coffee Break TV app for iOS and Android. And we've even made an app for Roku and Apple TV. So whether you like to learn on the go on your phone, watch lessons on your tablet while travelling, or sit in front of the TV and improve your French, German, Spanish or Italian, Coffee Break TV is your answer. You can find out more about Coffee Break TV at coffeebreaktv.com. We'll be launching the club this Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Eastern. The Coffee Break TV web platform will be available from then, and the apps will go live, all being well, on the 19th of December. If you've purchased one of our Season 1 or Season 2 courses in the Coffee Break Academy, you'll also be able to access them within the Coffee Break TV app. So, with new Swedish, Chinese, French and Spanish courses, speaking practice in our Coffee Break communication classes, and now the Club 2.0 on the Coffee Break TV platform and app, this is definitely our biggest announcement ever. But perhaps there's time for one more thing.
Fáilte ar bh is mis Susanna agus Hashina Toshacha Cursa Gaelic.
Yep, we are starting Coffee Break Gaelic, and I'm really excited to be learning and to be helping you learn this wonderful language, Scottish Gaelic.
My name is Susanna and I'm a member of the team here at Coffee Break and a Gaelic language expert.
And as I said, I am the learner on this course. It's my job to learn along with all of you. And I'll probably have some questions along the way and probably need some help with my pronunciation. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Good stuff.
So Mark, why don't you tell us why we're making Coffee Break Gaelic?
Yeah, on YouTube we have lots of our 1-minute Gaelic videos, and these are some of our most popular videos on YouTube. And also when we've asked learners in the past, what languages would you like to learn? Gaelic is always very high on the list.
Great. Well, it is a fascinating language with a rich history and culture, and there are people from all over the world with a Gaelic heritage.
And that's actually one element that we're going to be looking at in Coffee Break Gaelic, one of the many elements, the whole idea of the culture around the language, Gaelic place names, Gaelic family names, and so on. So lots of exciting stuff to look forward to.
Absolutely, and Coffee Break Gaelic will be starting very soon.
In the meantime, you can go to coffeebreakgaelic.com and sign up to be notified when the course goes live. So thank you very much. How would you say thank you in Gaelic?
Tapalat.
Tapalat. I like the sound of that. Tapalat. So, Susanna, tapalat.
Agus hí sin a ríisih. Cheery.
Cheery. A new member of the Coffee Break family. We've had so many requests to create a Coffee Break Gaelic, and we're excited to be launching this new course in January 2023. If you'd like to find out more about Coffee Break Gaelic and be kept up to date with our progress, head to coffeebreakgaelic.com. So, as you can see, we now have 8 members of the Coffee Break family. But it sort of feels like there's something missing. It would be much neater with a full house of 9 languages, wouldn't it? Well, we're very excited to be telling you that in response to the #1 request from learners, we're launching Coffee Break Portuguese. Here are the hosts of the show to tell you more.
Olá, eu sou o Rafael e sou professor de português neste curso Coffee Break Portuguese.
Olá, eu sou a Eva e sou escocesa, and that's about all the Portuguese I know just now. I'm a member of the Coffee Break team and I work in other languages, but in this course my role is to be the learner in Coffee Break Portuguese.
Well, Eva, I'm sure you'll learn much more in this course.
I hope so, yeah. So to start with, could you just tell us a little bit about the Portuguese language, Rafael?
Sure. The Portuguese language is spoken by millions and millions of people in the world, in Brazil, in Portugal, in countries in Africa. It's a language rich in literature, in music, and gastronomies. So there's so much to learn, so many places to discover as you progress with your learning of Portuguese language.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning lots more about all of that.
So, Eva, what kind of topics are we going to be learning in this course?
So we've got a lot to cover in our course of 40 lessons. And the sorts of topics we'll be dealing with are the things that are really useful when you travel abroad, when you're traveling in a Portuguese-speaking country. So it'll be things like, initially, how to introduce yourself, ask how somebody is, these sorts of topics that come in handy when you're meeting new people abroad, but then also the sorts of transactional language that are really useful. So asking for directions, how to order food and drinks in a restaurant, how to deal with a visit to the pharmacy if that ever happens. So all of these kind of very everyday topics that are useful for traveling abroad.
And let me emphasize that this is not the type of course where all you're going to learn is a set of phrases and you be repeating them. This course is going to teach you grammar patterns, it's going to encourage you to think as an independent learner, but also allow you to become an independent user of this language.
And that's what the Coffee Break method is all about. So, Rafael, obviously, like all languages, there are regional differences with Portuguese, I imagine, depending on where you're hearing it spoken in the world. Are we focusing on any specific type of Portuguese in our course?
We are not. So even though I'm from Brazil with a particular accent, from a particular region of Brazil, we are not focusing on Brazilian Portuguese. In the same way, we're not focusing on European Portuguese or Portuguese from Mozambique. We are going to learn Portuguese that will allow you to communicate in any Portuguese-speaking country that you go. So just in the same way that your English is Scottish English. I learned English in Brazil from a North American teacher, but that didn't stop me from coming to Scotland and studying at a Scottish university and getting my degree.
Yeah, of course. So likewise, the Portuguese we'll be learning will allow us to be understood wherever we travel to in the Portuguese-speaking world?
Absolutamente.
Great, good to know. Well, I can't wait to get started and to learn my first words of Portuguese.
And we can't wait for you to join us.
Rafael, can you teach us how to say see you soon in Portuguese?
Até já.
Até já.
That looks better. A full house of Coffee Break languages. So, as Rafael explained, this course is not going to be Coffee Break European Portuguese or Coffee Break Brazilian Portuguese. You're going to be learning how to use the Portuguese language to communicate with native speakers from all over the world. Like Gaelic, Coffee Break Portuguese will launch in January 2023. And if you'd like a sneak peek and to find out exactly when we're launching, head to coffeebreakportuguese.com. This is our biggest launch ever. We've announced Coffee Break Swedish Travel Diaries, and a new course in Chinese characters from Coffee Break Chinese, both launching in 2023. Our new French audio and video show Il était une fois goes live today, so you can start listening now. Coffee Break Spanish Season 5 for advanced learners, also known as La Penúltima Voluntad, also launches today. We're going to be helping you with your speaking in Coffee Break communication classes from next year, and we'll be switching on our Coffee Break TV platform this Wednesday, with the app coming in a couple of weeks' time. Finally, we've added 2 new members to the Coffee Break family, Scottish Gaelic and Portuguese. Now, to bring all of this together, we have a fantastic team of colleagues who work tirelessly to create the content you know and love. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has contributed to all of our ongoing courses and all this new content, especially in the run-up to today. Your work is very much appreciated. I hope that you're as excited as I am about this next step in language learning on your coffee break.